Hello all. So hopefully at this point we are ready to at least try to create a C# project. We can do that by bringing up Visual Studio. So just go ahead and bring up whatever Visual Studio. And at this point, actually, I had gotten, it wouldn't let me in at first because it actually suspended my account due to um, some bad stuff coming from my email account. So if you do that, it's actually a pretty simple process. You just have to go online and open it up. But you shouldn't have that problem at this pace, especially if you've just downloaded it for the first time. You should be at least on the 30-day free trial, and to be honest, this is free indefinitely. So unless you're planning on making money with it, go ahead and use this to your heart's content. Anyways, let's just go ahead and create a new file. And if you're like me, you probably downloaded every little bit of Visual Studio you could because you like programming so much. But some of you might have something different. First, though, let's go File, New, and then Project. And it'll take a second or two. But what you will get is a host of languages here on the left. And if you do Visual Basic used to be at the top. I think they actually moved Visual C# in front because I think it was in alphabetical order. So a lot of times people would get in here and then want to get into the Visual Basic. And as you can see, just because you get into Visual Basic, you now have a whole bunch of Visual Basic type of files that you can make or type of applications that you can make. The same thing here is for Visual C#. So let's go ahead and click that. And as you can see, cross-platform, that's what we'll go to eventually, but we're not going to start with that right away. ASPs are really cool. Console, that is, if you're on the old book, you'll see a lot of those. We don't want to do that because we want to take advantage of C#'s work. We're going to have to see some .NET stuff in here because luckily C# works well with .NET and can use those free libraries. Let's do a Windows Form app. That's basically what we're going to do in here a lot, especially in the beginning. The reason being is because all this stuff is free. You start wanting to play with some of this fancier stuff, and all of a sudden you realize you can't do it unless you want to pay more money to it. So immediately when it does it, it'll tell you it'll put Windows Forms app in there. Let's just type in first because this is our first try. It'll also put a location. I don't like this. I have my own set. So if you want to go ahead and pick that, I forget where I put mine. I think I put mine all, yep, here it is in the C# projects file and folder projects. And I'm going to just select that folder. And sure enough, there's my first. So let's go ahead, cross our fingers, click OK. And the next thing you should see is that it's going to create it. It'll take a little bit of time, but the time it takes here is really beneficial later on. It's amazing how small some of these files are going to be when you get done with them. So it's good that they optimize right away. And then you'll get this form that you can make. So this is what you're going to actually see when you actually go to put the output in. There it is, Form 1. That's all you get, but that's all you want. And it's all, look, it's in a nice little window already. So let's go ahead and test it right away. Let's hit Start. And it'll, again, take a couple seconds to debug. First time's always the slowest, don't worry. It will be faster each time after this. And this is what you get. You get a nice you get a nice little form. So this guy translates into this. The reason why it's a different color is because of our properties. So that is what you want. And as you can see right up here, it says design. Design means what it's going to actually look like. And then we're okay. What was I saying? So here's the Form 1 CS. But obviously, if I try to type here, there's no programming to be done, right? The programming, I accidentally did update something there. We'll worry about that later. So if I ever wanted to program something inside this form, all I have to do is double click into it, and there you go. That's the actual programming space, I guess, we'll call it, our coding space that we use for this Form 1. So notice this one says form1.cs and then form1.cs design on 2 tabs. This is what we're looking at. This is how we're going to program it. So congratulations, you've created your first C# project, and go ahead and save it all, although every time you hit start it saves it naturally, but let's go ahead and do a save all, and you're done.